Money Talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
You guys, I am so excited to welcome Ross Rosenberg back to the Terry Cole Show. He is a frequent flyer of the Terry Cole Show. We love his work. I just told you all about him at the top, so you know all the things. And many of you, I know, listened to and watched our last interview together, and it was more like a marathon talk, is what we did last time. But there's always so much, Ross, for us to talk about. So I wanted to just say thank you for coming back and welcome.
Oh, it's my treat. One of my favorite moments of any type of YouTube or a podcast is talking with you. Feels like we're on the same page in so many topics, and I can't wait for this topic.
Yes. Our obsession with codependency is one of those topics, for sure. So I was diving deep into your YouTube channel, which of course I've been to many times before, but for this, because we were going to be doing this, and I'm like, what are people talking about? What are people in your world wanting to know about? 1 second as I light my candle. And so the first thing that came up that I thought was great, and I've thought about this before, but never exactly in this way. So let's talk, if we can, a little bit, start with talking about narcissists, codependence, and induced conversations.
Okay, well, that's so narcissists are not very nice people that we know that, and codependence, I kind of renamed that to what I call self-love deficit disorder, self-love deficient, because the reason they get caught in these relationships with narcissists through what I call the human magnet syndrome is that at the very core is this self-love deficit, this core shame, and that bonds them to people that feed off of that. And that's the best I can do with such a broad terms, but I know you get me. But with regard to induced conversation, one of the things that I did with all three of my books, one of which will be published soon, and I'll talk about that later.
Yes, please.
Is I set out a very, very clear explanation for what actually is this codependency thing that I would call self-love deficit disorder, or SLDD, and what is pathological narcissism, because we got thousands of people on YouTube and podcasts giving their opinion on narcissism, and it's not always right, it's not always correct, and even when it is correct, the point of view is stilted towards anger, vindictiveness, and blame. And the only way that I've been able to fix my broken picker, or what my one therapist said, falling in love with the same woman but who has a different face, is not to stay away from them because something inside me keeps pulling me in that direction, but it's understanding what is it about me that falls in love predictably with these people. And that whole question brought me into an understanding of self-love deficit disorder. And because your question doesn't have to do with that, I want to just start with, it's a very specific problem for which, if you like, I can talk about it later. But then I created a treatment program. See, everyone knows me because of my book, The Human Magnet Syndrome, YouTube channel. But really, like yourself, Terry, we're psychotherapists. We started, in this career field wanting to help people, wanted to change the world one person at a time.
Listen, man, I love Ross Rosenberg's work. Have you read his work? Go read his book. Here's the sad thing about us all, man. Even Ross Rosenberg, he does what a lot of white folk do. I know people are going to be mad when I say this, but it's true what white folk do. They will take something that existed long before they got here and just recontextualize it. The human magnet syndrome. I would bet, right, my last dollar. I would bet my last dollar that Ross Rosenberg is familiar with Krishnamurti's work. The human magnet syndrome. Okay, sounds like relationship as a mirror. Krishnamurti was saying in the early 19th century. So, and Ross Rosenberg, I'm not blaming him. He's not, he's no different than, say, Niels Bohr. You know what Niels Bohr is doing when he's battling Einstein in the 30s or in the 30s, 40s, and 50s? You know what he's doing? He's studying Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and many of the models that he created for the subatomic world was inspired by the Bhagavad Gita, the Rig Vedas, same as Oppenheimer. So what happens is they get inspired by the Eastern philosophy, spirituality, then they come back, bring it to Western science, and recontextualize it. So Ross Rosenberg, human magnet syndrome. Krishnamurti, relationship is the mirror in which you see yourself as you are. If you are capable of looking at yourself as you are without any evaluation, then there is the cessation of fear, and out of that comes an extraordinary sense of love. The key to what he just said was to be able to look at yourself without evaluation. Many of us don't know how to do that. We're the biggest critics and the biggest abusers of our own selves. And then, like Ross Rosenberg, the human magnet syndrome, when you abuse yourself, you become a magnet for abuse. If you disrespect yourself internally, if you're constantly stepping over your own boundaries that you've set for yourself internally, right? You become a magnet for that. You become the mirror of relationship, as Krishnamurti said. Now, Osho, who was a rival of Krishnamurti, while at the same time trying to duplicate what Krishnamurti did, right? He looks at it this way. And I would only change one word. Instead of, he says, with a woman, I would say with a person. And the reason why, because this goes both ways. Remember, whenever you're dealing with relationships, you're dealing with a dyadic system. Okay? You're dealing with duality. You're dealing with bidirectionality. So he says, when you listen to what he's about to say in context to tonight's topic, masturbators, being baited by someone just so they can get a rise out of you, right? Masturbating, hoovering, bringing you back into a toxic situation by trying to bait you into conversation. Listen to how Osho puts it. When you fall in love with a woman, watch, be alert. It may be nothing but narcissism. And the woman's face and her eyes and her words may be simply functioning as a silent lake in which you are seeing your reflection. My own observation is this: out of 100 loves, 99 are narcissistic. That's Osho. Come on, Osho, with the fire. You got to understand, induced conversation is designed to provoke a reaction, as Dr. Ramani tells us, right? The narcissist thrives on chaos and emotional reactivity. They understand that drawing their target into a conversation allows them to maintain dominance and control. I got you to move. I got you to flinch, right? I got you to act outside of yourself. By keeping their partner emotionally engaged, they prevent the process of emotional disentanglement that is crucial for healing. Here we go. Chakra, get in here. Give me your final thoughts. College Station, Texas.
Appreciate you, man. I actually, I normally call out of Raleigh, but either way, like you were saying, being that bigger fish, and based off of what you were just saying, like to look at yourself with a higher understanding without judgment, you have to embrace acceptance and just saying, okay, this is who I am in this current place of time, but it's not where I want to be, right? We're whips, we're works in progress. And you could be on a higher path trying to improve yourself, but that person you're dealing with, that's like kryptonite to them, and they're going to run away from that. They're going to try to redirect you back to where they want you to be at with these conversations. And it may be to seduce you. It may be to say something real intellectual or spiritual. They know you. So when you can look at yourself and say, dag, I was before I'll say I listened to Zoe's show or whatever, or read this book, I would have immediately reacted to you sexting me or you sending me a link about something that was happening that would have, opened my mind or whatever. But all of that is to kind of bring me into where you want me to be. And it's really for their gratification and for their pleasure and so on and so forth. But
supply.
I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Say again?
Yeah, supply. That's their supply.
Right.
But your supply is what? When you're doing that, when they give you whatever bait they use, let me ask you the question. Why does the bait work on you? If we're trying to heal. So,
right.
No, walk with me on this. What bait works on you? Because all bait don't work on every fish. Certain fish need a certain type of bait. What bait works on you, Chakra?
I mean, for me personally, it's kind of go ahead. It's a little bit of everything. It's like I like a woman who's intelligent, who has a knowledge of self, who may have some, as we might say, hoodish tendencies or ratchetness. She got a little fire in her, but also knows how to conduct herself as a professional and so on and so forth. But when you're open and vulnerable about these things, you got to be cautious on who you're talking to, because everything that you're giving them, they weaponizing it. They collecting it all in. Go ahead.
Let me up-level you a little bit. Let's go even deeper. What if empathy is the bait? Yeah, you see? Do you see? Like, if I raise the stakes of the bait, I'm going for big fish, deep sea diving.
Now I'm giving them my credit card.
Right. What if, because men be running around yapping this word all the damn time and don't really understand it. What if accountability is the breadcrumb they use?
As you would say, yeesh.
You know what? You were right. I made the mistake. And then you feel like, hey, really? You grew. You understood? Yeah? Come on in here, girl. Sit down. Do you see? And for many of us, We're so low on the conscious totem pole, they don't need high-level bait. All they need is booty to execute the duty. Boy,
Meanwhile,
get in
brother,
here.
get
You
back.
know you want this. Come on. You know you miss me. Knock it off. You see the brown skin glistening. Knock it off. Get in here. I've been waiting on you. Come on, it's masturbating. That's today's show.
I'm speechless. You got it, Zo.
Hey, brother, let me just say this, man. I appreciate you for tapping in, man. Thank you for calling. Yo, what did you just do, though?
Yo, I just brought College Station by way of Raleigh, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going to Houston, Texas. We got more and more and more to talk about.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Chevy, All the Things 2024 Truck Season Radio 30, code GWMR0294000.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Until I find the day, the only words I know that you. Until I say the only words I know that you. Until
I know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or the fall, but by default, she don't think of me. I thought she was an Indian. She be slanging things like a simian. All my life I wanted me an Indian. And now she's far away, but I had to know. Listen. know you see it, girl. This ain't sitting real good in my soul. Everywhere this little girl goes, she pick up another obstacle. She was my heart. I don't know the tribe or default, but by default, she don't think of me. I thought she wasn't in the end. But she be slanging things like a simian.
Today I'm going to explore further my observed and absorbed technique. Many of you might have heard about this, as I hope so, because there are 4 videos on YouTube already on the topic, all of which explain this unique approach to filtering out the malignant and pathological power of narcissists over their codependent, or what I call self-love deficient, prey. They have all the power in the relationship when they can get you to fight them, to react to them, to want to defend yourself. And this is just a summary because my observed and absorbed technique is explained in these YouTube videos, as well as in my 1.5 hour full featured seminar video at selfloverecovery.com. But as I explained in these videos, by using the George Bernard Shaw saying, and I have to look at my pillow because, in fact, I'm going to get it. Hold on.
And my reactivity is bad.
This, of course, was not scripted, but a long time ago, I was traveling around the United States giving trainings, and the first time that I gave this training on the observed and absorbed technique, someone in the audience liked it so much that they made
Ross Rosenberg is amazing, man. I love his work, and again, like, I struggle with the observe but don't absorb. It's a process, man. Listen, we're human beings. We have a frontal lobe, which is the thinking part of the brain. The frontal lobe. It's the newest part of the brain. It's the part of the brain that allows us to contemplate, to ponder. This is the superpower part of the brain. Then we have an old brain, the limbic system, the old reptilian brain. And I like to say the new brain is unathletic. The new brain is Larry Bird. The old brain is Dominique Wilkins, Russell Westbrook, Ja Morant, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, all rolled into one. That's how athletic the old brain is, right? Because it deals with instincts, right? And that's where the fight, flight, freeze, all of that is in that old brain. And if somebody is constantly baiting you and trying to induce you into a conversation, you see how Ross Rosenberg outlined it, where he says, man, the more they can get you to respond, the more they can get you to react, right? The more power they exert over you. When you say, you know what, I'm just never going to answer your call again. How about that? You know what, I'm just going to disappear from your feed. Social media. I'm just going to block you in every aspect of my life. I'm inaccessible to you. When you do that, do you know that that's a war tactic? To them, they're like, oh, this means war. You going to take yourself out of my supply rotation? Do you get what I'm saying? Narcissists are highly skilled at, laying listen to this now. Very skilled at laying conversational traps that are intended to elicit emotional responses. These traps can take many forms, but must revolve around evoking feelings of guilt, shame, fear, or obligation. Listen to the science, right? Conversational traps, such as baiting with accusatory questions. Right? I thought you said you didn't have my number. I thought you said you was going home. Are you listening? Right? You probably was. Huh? Are y'all listening? This is what's happening in these streets out here, these real relationship streets. This is what's going on. Right? I thought you cared about me. Ooh. Ooh. I thought you were a man of your word. A real man wouldn't. A real man would have. A real woman is supposed to. Huh? You know, come on, can we be honest tonight? Can we be honest tonight? Have you been baited by a masturbator? These emotional triggers that, get sprung up by these conversational traps, man, often stem from unresolved wounds, especially those rooted in attachment traumas, as noted by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth and others. Narcissists are adept at identifying these vulnerabilities and using them to sustain control, right? Sustain control. When we examine these dynamics through the lens of the Buddhist and Hindu philosophies, we begin to see how emotional reactivity itself is a form of attachment. Oh, God. Emotional reactivity is a form of attachment. As Krishnamurti reminds us, true freedom is found in non-attachment, a state where the individual is no longer reactive to external provocations. Are y'all hearing me? In the context of toxic relationships, right, the induced conversation is a form of attachment to the emotional validation the narcissist offers, a validation that is inherently fleeting and unreliable. Krishnamurti's teachings encourages us to observe without reacting, to understand that our reactivity is often rooted in the ego's need for validation and acknowledgement. Did I not say even the self-love deficient person is reliant on what? Some kind of supply. This supply is going back and forth between narcissists and codependent. And you don't even have to be a narcissist or a codependent for this little back and forth to happen. It happens in human relationships, in the human experience, man. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. Everybody want to talk now? Let's get it.
With a wedding ring, is she hit the box? City babe, are you down to cheat? He looked in the eye, chivalry. Is he really there? He pulled out a tip. Jumping right on him. Think it wasn't good to intervene, and I lost her. Lost her to the world and the girls and imposters. Entertain, I doubt it'll pay, and it cost her. I ain't mad at me, but it hurt. And I thought she wasn't in it. Now she only worried about the Benjamins. She been looking in my dreams.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Jumaane Williams, who's next in line for mayor if New York City Mayor Eric Adams resigns, reportedly received contributions from a donor in the Adams corruption case. According to a report, Williams, who's the city's public advocate, received campaign contributions from a contractor who's accused by federal authorities of arranging illegal straw donations from Adams. Meantime, if Williams, who is black, is deemed unable to serve as mayor, the next in line is City Controller Brad Lander, who announced he's running for mayor. Maryland is launching a new initiative aimed at tackling Baltimore's vacant housing crisis. Black Governor Wes Moore signed an executive order creating the Reinvest Baltimore program. It's a coordinated effort between the state, Baltimore City, and nonprofit and for-profit partners to eliminate concentrations of vacant properties. Under the governor's order, 5,000 vacant properties will be redeveloped over the next 5 years. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
It's been a year since the war started in Israel, and they need our support now more than ever. Join the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews today in providing security and basic needs for the people of Israel. Go to support.ifcj.org. That's support.ifcj.org.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted Black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to put.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the TIA.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Voila. Voila. Yeah. I'm only coming out to play. Nothing more that I hate in this life. The wrong impression, I only have one to make. You can open your palm, waiting to catch a break. The cards will fall where they may. And what about me? I believe in fate. They wanna know where I'll be in 5. But what about today? What about tonight? Only one at a time. So precious. It's yours, it's mine. Only one at a time. My life, yeah. Am I wrong to assume if she can't dance, then she can't, ooh, yeah. Am I wrong to say?
Today's topic is about something that I know so many of us have struggled with for years on end when dealing with a narcissist. And it really doesn't matter who exactly the narcissist is in your life, because they all utilize this form of manipulation. So it could be your spouse, it could be your significant other, your sibling, your parent, your coworker, or your boss. Today we're talking about the infuriating, the frustrating, the crazy-making word salad, the narcissist's favorite vehicle for communicating. But first, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell, because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me, please visit my website. It's linked in the description below. For those who may have never heard the term word salad, let me explain exactly what that is and what that means. Word salad is a term people in this community came up with to describe the patterns of communication and the styles of using language, or the styles and patterns of conversations that all narcissists tend to use. Maybe you have never heard the term, but if you have had a relationship with a narcissist, there's no doubt in my mind that you are acutely aware that when you have
I don't like the way she's describing word salad. Word salad is talking in circles. It's trying to sound deep, but it's not logically sound. But many people get caught up with the sophisticated word salad. I mean, with the high-end vinaigrette. You dig? The sophisticated... First off, most people have never heard of the term sophistry. Right? Sophistry. Let's look it up. I know what it means. Have you ever heard of it? Basically, sophistry is saying the only thought that matters is the thought that comes from my mind. Sophistry. Whatever I think, that's it. Sophistry, right? So somebody speaking from a space of sophistry, right, will think they're making sense, but they're only speaking from their experience. And of course, your experience is limited, right? The use of fallacious arguments, especially with the intention of deceiving, right? So if somebody is a master of sophistry, booyah, there you got it. Their thought matters more than anything else. It's amazing. Man, we got a great show tonight. We got callers on the line. I'm excited. The blase blah, talking in circles. Arugula. Bell peppers. Quinoa. Huh? Boy, put some shrimp on now. Pistachios. Yeah, pistachio. Some people might even go to granola mix. Them little bean sprouts. Huh? Them little cherry tomatoes. Huh? That little balsamic vinegar. Hook up. Beets. Huh? Croutons. Let's take it up a notch. Right? Get that salad mix. Just be talking. And if they're articulate, oh God, you think, that was a really inspirational batch of nothing. Oh man, let's get our callers in here. Tonight's topic, man. Masturbators. Right? The masters of baiting you into conversations, pulling you back in. All right, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in. You already know what it is. Attila from Houston, Texas is on the line. Attila, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Let's do it.
Man, listen, the vinaigrette took me out. That was funny. That was a good one. I liked it. Okay, so let me get to it. I'll just be really short. So this is really hard for me. I don't know how to handle things once I realize that I've been gaslit, or once I realize that there've been like mind games being played. Mm-hmm. So for me, that kind of launches me into reactive abuse. But I also feel like it hits my worthiness wound, because the worthiness wound says I have to be heard or I have to be right in order to be. Mm-hmm. So this is blowing my mind. But I think when it comes to baiting, I guess what I'm learning now is, instead of focusing on the offense or the being baited, change your diet. Got to change my diet, I guess.
Right.
What it is that I'm consuming, right?
Right.
The other side of it, though, is that I feel like when it comes to toxic people, they are adept at taking your wound and essentially developing an ointment that they can use and dole out at any point that they want. But they're also slowly poisoning you at the same time. And so I think that's the thing that keeps you hooked, because, again, you're feeling better, but then you're also feeling worse. It's that kind of up and down.
And it's really crazy. Ross Rosenberg
Mm-hmm.
basically says SLDs, self-love deficient or codependents, are really addicted to codependency.
Yeah.
So you have to have some level of empathy when you're talking to somebody and they're struggling with this, because it really is like a drug to chase after the validation, or to chase after the approval, chase after the worthiness. And it's easy for somebody to say, Attila, you got to learn how to regulate your emotions. But it's more than that, I think. I think, yes, you have to learn how to not be reactive, regulating your emotions, right? The avoidant wants to self-regulate. The anxious preoccupied tends to want to co-regulate. Let's do it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, a lot of therapy is needed, and you should call my friend, Dr. Jashana Johnson or Shalonda Crawford.
I know. Look, I want to.
Come on,
Dr. Pakoya, love y'all.
Dr. Pakoya, McCall, don't be afraid. I got doctors online. Come on now.
Look, I ain't scared. The pockets is just thin. You feel me right now? But
no, I understand.
But to be honest, I mean, I think when it comes even to boundaries, right, and your boundaries being stepped on, someone the other day made a really good point, and I wish I remember. I don't know if it was Sula or who it was, but they were saying that they kind of connected their boundaries to their discipline.
Ooh, yeah.
And
yeah,
and so I think in terms of like that bait of wanting to be right or to be heard, and your boundaries constantly getting stepped on, right? Like, the real truth is that you're lacking discipline. And in my case, I definitely feel like there are certain areas in my life where I could put more attention towards that. But I think that it's a lot easier to argue and try and get things right with the person who doesn't want to get it right, because you don't want to focus on the fact that you need discipline in a certain area.
Come on.
It's like not want. You're just, you're supposed to be doing a diet. You're supposed to be working out or whatever the case may be, but instead you'd rather like argue about the fact that, like, I don't know, something's not going on at work or whatever the case may be. You're going to find anything in your life that's going wrong to not actually focus on the thing that you need to be doing right. So I say all that to say that I think a lot of this is really just a tool to tease out your toxicity in a sense. So the toxicity that exists within me, I'm trying to basically work that out of myself by arguing with you.
That ain't gonna
And
work.
I think that,
you know that ain't gonna work.
yeah, and I think it's one of those things where you fulfill your own prophecy. So if your prophecy is I'm never heard, you will continue not to be heard because that honestly was your end game in the first place.
Ooh, to not
Instead
be
of your
heard.
end game, yeah, instead of your end game being to gain more discipline in the area of listening or speaking or whatever the case may be. So that's all I have to say.
I love it, Attila. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. You already know. Austin, Texas is up next. When we come forward, we got a lot to talk about. Reggie.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. It's your chance to ride Metro for free. You'll be helping make the air cleaner and our roads less crowded. Let's clear the air together and make Los Angeles healthier. Check out metro.net for more info. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can make as many songs, call a lady when I haven't met her, but she only hit it on my Sarah better. If I say I love her, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Am I overzealous? But I know the feeling, and I'm never wrong. Swear that I've been gifted with a song, and a million, it's intoxicating. It weigh on you heavy like the alcohol. We can do like anything you want. I'm amazing, let it to my lady. I just want a pleasure, check my catalog. In this life I come across fans and hoes. I like to give my fans a rose. Curse of the talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, The voice of reason, live from KBLA Talk 1580. We on fire tonight. You already know what it is. My co-host is my playlist, and my playlist is my co-host. We've been playing Masego and Anderson .Paak, and boy, this was a heavyweight fight. I can't say who won. This was amazing. I love the music tonight. I don't know if it went with the topic, but it was definitely a vibe up in here. But listen, we got callers on the line. I want to get them all in before we get out of here. Reggie from Austin, Texas. Reggie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Man, it's only a couple things I can't stand. One of them is a bully. And a bully will bait you into an argument or a conversation that they don't think you can win. Wow. And, I mean, you don't see Jerry Cooney sparring with Mike Tyson. Like, it just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And so they think you'll play a role, and they think you'll fall in line. And you play the game all the time, and you play it well. And you know, in mid-conversation, man, I'm in a game. And the thing is, you have to establish a boundary and be developed enough or responsible enough to maintain your boundary. And don't do it for anybody else. Do it for you. And so if it goes back to you and how you feel about you, then you'll get out of that situation and maintain that boundary for your own sanity. You know? I think if you do that, then at least you're putting yourself in position to be right or position to be whole. And that wholeness has an absolute value.
And you know what's beautiful about what you said? What you're saying is they can give you nothing. So that's really what you said. They really can't give you anything. So what are you chasing? What are you trying to get them to give you? If you give up that, they can't give you anything. All the peace you need is within. All the acknowledgement you need is within. All of the validation and approval you need is within. So why are you even engaging in this conversation?
That's real. That's real.
That's good stuff, right?
I've heard toxicity described as a person that cannot or will not love you back. And if they can't give you that, then what are they giving you but toxicity? It just doesn't add. So that's all I gotta say, bro.
Hey man, you already know what you did, right?
I brought Austin in the building.
Austin, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, might not be able to do it now. We at the end. Let me get my brother from Charleston, South Carolina, man. Theo is in the building. I hope you guys are okay down there. I know you guys got a little piece of that Hurricane Helen, right? Helene. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up here in Greenville now, headed towards that area. But everything is kind of smooth right now, but really the water's on the Asheville side of the mountain.
Okay. All right. So you good? You all right?
Yeah, everything's solid, but we definitely gonna have to wrap and have this conversation again. I think you should do a part 2.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, what was your thought? You got a little time. What was your thought?
I mean, between what Artula said and the brother just now just said,
Reggie.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm facing, because that's initially where I'm at, in a sense, because I can't walk together with this person. I'm learning at a different pace. She's learning at a different pace. So it just don't seem like it's ever going to align. And I think that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow.
You know what I'm mad at,
because it's like,
right?
you got love. God love this with this person.
You know what I'm mad at, because I've been dealing with you for the longest. You should call in every day until we work this out.
Yeah.
You know why I'm mad, right? You a nephew of mine. You a nephew, and you know why I'm mad at you, right?
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it too. I've done this myself, bro. We love the person. We want the person to show something, to adjust, to shift, to change. All of that is outside of us, man. We need self-alignment. We can't do it together. They on their own time scale. I'm on my time, and we can't seem to pull it together. That's because listen to what I'm about to say. Two internally disjointed people can't come together. they can come together for a little time. What is going to create? Conflict. That push and pull. Then you're attracted to the conflict. You're attracted to this disjointedness. That's where we have some kind of familiarity in that disjointedness. This is what a trauma bond is. Something's disjointed in you. Something's misaligned in you. Something's misaligned in me. Oh, we're alike. No, we're disjointed. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. If you're not healed from childhood wounds, and I'm making this about you. You call in, you make it about us. Hey, we can't seem, because I'm saying you haven't dealt with you. So, childhood wounds, right? If you carrying around a childhood wound, and I would surmise, let's just say 96, 95% of everybody got something, and that's being modest and generous, right? Listen, the word despair, means separate, pair. The pair has separated. Despair. If you're carrying around a wound, you're in despair. But who are you separated from? The adult you and the wounded child you. The wounded child you is asking another person in despair to be grown for them.
Right.
Do you see the ridiculousness of the question?
Yeah.
So you have to be the grown-up to your own inner child that's wounded. How do you become the grown-up to the wounded inner child? Back to Krishnamurti, being able to look at yourself without evaluation, without judgment. What happens when you judge a kid harshly?
Yeah. They fold.
Yeah.
Child gonna fold every time.
So you done folded on yourself every time because you think you deserve better, but you don't know how to love yourself properly, bruh. It's you. It's you. This is a mirror of you. And you keep trying to, come on, let's get together. Let's get on the same page. No. Get on the same page with your spirit, brother. Get on the same page with your inner child, brother. Look at your inner child without condemnation, without judgment, without evaluation, with empathy, with compassion, and watch you heal and watch her peel. Hey, listen. You brought South Carolina in the building, brother. I appreciate you, but I got to go. I appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. You already know I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The VOR will be back tomorrow with another one.
Rising. We thought it was a lockdown. They opened the fire. Them bullets was flying. Who said it was a lockdown? Goddamn lie. Oh my, time heals all, but you out of time now. Judge gotta watch us from the clock tower. Little tear gas cleared the whole place out. I'll be back with the hazmat for the next round. We was trying to